So Annette makes you feel bad last week by saying you're fat, sends you pictures of Fat Albert, text saying, hey.
Look at this picture I took of you when you were fat and black and a cartoon.
Annette, it turns out, pretty cruel when it comes to fat shaming her husband. You know, coming from a guy who very loudly was letting everybody know about his 9 for 9 in a row streak.
That's why you can't do that.
So we won the championship.
Do you know the word humble?
Unfamiliar.
Got a text from my lovely wife. Hey, you better start hitting the gym again. And I'll admit, did not react too well in the moment. And I just replied, oh, that's insulting.
You're not incorrect.
But
it's hard. Listen, it's like 8 words. It's hard to misconstrue any of those when you read them straight down the barrel.
I'd kind of forgotten about that. About how I was fat shamed by my wife.
How do you feel right now?
Not great.
Was there ever an apology for that?
Yeah, there was in the moment. And
from her, because you said you felt bad about the way you reacted, but I think the biggest error in judgment here was the no context. You need to hit the gym, obese husband of mine.
Yeah, she clarified later, saying that it was more of a ribbing to get me to either use or cancel my gym membership.
Which again you'd been using, or no, that you'd canceled properly last year when you stopped going, and then you re-upped last week when you decided time to get back in there.
I think I'm canceling it again.
Oh boy, you know what? Put it all on the back burner, because this has to be an immediate discussion then, because this might be, less than a week to the day since it was brought up. We'll have to get to that, but we have very important things to discuss right now, my basic friend.
Yeah, there's a nip in the air. It's getting cool. Football season is in full swing.
I had my shawl on this morning.
I know, it's still stupid hot. It's like 85 degrees today.
I put on the world's largest sunglasses that I could find. Mm-hmm. Tied my hair into a nice tight ponytail.
Yeah, like a messy bun.
Yeah.
Messy bun. Let's see, you had, I'm assuming you had leggings on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, real tight, too.
Yeah.
Everything very defined.
Then your Uggs, of course.
Comfort first.
Yeah. And you walked right in to your local Starbucks.
I did.
Or Starbs, as some call it.
Some of us call it the SB. Just the Bucks. Depends how much time I have that morning.
Yeah.
You know? Walked in there. Saw the line, nearly turned around and walked back out.
Nope, not worth it.
Here's the thing with Starbucks. I've no joke, I've never had it. Never even had a black coffee from there. Okay. No. And
I've had their coffee hundreds of times, I would assume.
Worth the coffee time, or is it just like another cup of black coffee?
I think that in most cases I had it because I would never make the call. I want to go to Starbucks.
Oh, sure.
It was like if we were driving somewhere and Annette wanted to grab Starbucks, or there's a Starbucks in the front of the grocery store that we go to. Mm-hmm. So she'd stop and get something, and I'll grab something too. But I gave up coffee over 2 years ago at this point. I haven't had coffee. No coffee in 2 years.
Until today.
So just, until today. So just, it's fine. Mm-hmm. I'm not a coffee connoisseur by any means. So it's like a cup of coffee to me is kind of a cup of coffee.
Well, I need someone to explain to me why there's such a Stockholm syndrome with Starbucks. There was no progress. Now, if you see something like this at an airport, there's nearly riots with delays and waiting and why am I not in my seat and why am I not in the air? But with Starbucks, people seem more than thrilled and content to wait however long they need to wait for their $5 to $6 cup of coffee.
It's going to be 2 hours, folks. Hey, that's all right.
Hey, I've got my phone and my comfortable boots. I'm content. Like, I'm not kidding you. I texted you like, oh, this was a mistake. I need to turn around. I might go try another one. There's one guy working.
Yeah.
There's 3 people in line in front to order, and at least 8 to 10 people waiting for their coffees. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, oh, great, I'll be out of here in an hour.
We'd hoped to start recording at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Here it is, 10. Looks like we started at 10:41.
Yeah, real bad.
By the way, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast, Sunday, September 16th, 2018, the year of our Lord.
And I finally get up to the front of the line because, thank goodness, a second employee shows up and things start moving a little bit better. The one employee who was solo, you could tell he was a bit disgruntled. Just being alone for a little while.
Not
and
happy.
I can't imagine in this town a post-church Starbucks crowd or a pre-church Starbucks crowd. Nothing I'd want to be a part of less than a rush regarding that. So I get up to the new employee, I make my order, and in the biggest bit of shame I've ever had, I have to...
You didn't record audio of it?
I didn't. No, I didn't have time, and it ended up being okay anyway, but I did screw it up. Now I get a special order from my podcast co-host here mere minutes before my order. So now apparently you're anticipating this is going to be the worst thing you've ever drank.
Yeah, I'm just assuming I'm not going to like it. I like the only thing that I've found pumpkin flavor that I've ever liked is pumpkin pie. Mm-hmm. I don't like some people make pumpkin bread or pumpkin cookies and I've just never really it just doesn't do it for me. I love pumpkin pie though. So I'm assuming that this will fall in line with that and I don't drink coffee already.
Right.
So
but you're familiar with coffee.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
like you're dreading the taste of coffee.
No. Like the taste of coffee, fine, but I don't know. I'm just assuming I'm not going to like it. So I figured instead of wasting, what is this? Probably a 12-ounce cup of what is it? A venti?
That's this guy, right? It's a grande, you big idiot.
Oh, of course, yeah, grande. The one that means big. Of course, that would be the smallest.
Hey, everybody, let's all laugh together through however you're listening to this. And this idiot can't even get his Starbucks sizes right.
So I sent you a text. I said, I'll take mine with soy, no whip.
I thought you were joking.
I know. You said, I don't know what the F any of that means. I said, that's how Annette orders hers, so I'll just order it the way that she likes it for inevitably when I don't like it. That way I don't just take it and dump it down the drain.
Sure.
So, you got mine.
I walk up there, I said, can I get 2 PSLs?
Oh, you said PSLs?
Come on, Steve, I got to fit in. I say, but can I get one of those with soy milk and no foam? And then I go, wait, it didn't say no foam. I said, no whip. Is there any difference?
Oh, so you're that guy. You're the guy questioning the menu.
No, because I said no foam, but you texted me no whip.
Oh, I wanted to make sure.
Maybe they're the same thing. I don't know.
Maybe
so
they come with foam. Maybe they come with foam and whip. You want to make sure that.
But if I pull my sleeve down, because they mix the cups up, Steve, we discovered that.
Well,
that still says no foam, and then the word "we" with a cross through it. So I don't know what you with this.
Now,
I don't know what yours actually is.
Now we're assuming that they mix the cups up because you came in here and you handed me one, but the one that you handed me had noticeable foam coming out of the little drink hole. So we opened them up, and the one that you handed me obviously had foam on it. Yeah. The one that you kept that said no foam
and soy,
had
foam.
Right.
It's on the lid.
So either they mix them up or everything at Starbucks is just opposite.
Right. Yeah, and maybe we're supposed to know that, but we're not regs. You know, we're not there every day, so we don't understand it. The only thing noticeable that happened there was the disgruntled man, who was now relegated to making the drinks, as the new person was just getting all the orders down. I don't know what the protocol is, but when there's about 10 people, I'm assuming you go, a large white mocha, to the crowd. How about this?
What was that?
Just disregarded. Because he would not come. So this one lady, I'm standing about 4 feet away. I don't have a clue what he said, but I only put down one drink, so I'm assuming it's not mine.
Yeah.
Lady comes up and she asks me, what was that? I give her a big shrug, and I say, I couldn't hear a thing. I said, I ordered 2, so I don't think it's mine. So she comes around the corner and very timidly, maybe she's dealt with this man before, goes, I'm sorry, what was that? That's a regular pumpkin spice latte. The other one with soy milk's coming.
Okay. So you got this employee who no doubt has started his shift within the last 20 minutes, already done, already over it for the day.
And that's why I mentioned, what you can get a cup of coffee anywhere. Why are people willingly subjecting themselves to jerks and then waiting like 10 to 15 minutes for a cup of coffee?
It's not just a cup of coffee, Kyle. It's a way of life.
And that's why I also think you're going to be incorrect. Now, you're anticipating you're going to hate it because of pumpkin. I think you're anticipating it's going to taste like a pumpkin. I don't think so at all.
I'll tell you what, it smells fantastic. It does.
Steve, we can't put this off anymore. We got to try this. Hey, cheers to our basic inner white girl.
Bottoms up. Let the leaves fall. It's fall time here in Western Michigan.
85 degrees today.
85 degrees.
All right, time to get a nice sip of fall.
Can't wait. Hopefully it tastes like bark and trees.
I apologize. You are more right. This is more pumpkin-y than I anticipated.
Yeah, way too pumpkin-y
Less
for me.
spicy pumpkin, which is what I was hoping for. You know, maybe a little jalapeno pumpkin.
Tell you what, though, they nailed the flavor. I mean, it tastes like the smell of pumpkin pies. Exactly like it.
I'm good.
You done?
No, I'm gonna listen. I know how much these cost. I'm drinking this, and I'm gonna lick.
In like 5 minutes, am I gonna look over and you're gonna be like pinching your nose,
and I'm gonna be licking the bottom of the cup,
like doing this, like
like a cat with a hairball, but mine's just a regular coffee. So people really love these, huh? Less pumpkin-y that time?
No, it's about the same. I'm done though.
Well, you're welcome.
Hey, thanks for spending $6 on
so
that.
So you got the one next week then? Yeah.
What are we getting next week?
Right, yeah, something else, coffee related. I figured we should, yeah. And then you bought a coffee, I bought a coffee. We're all good on coffee, right?
I'll do that. I will do that next week. Ugh. Oh, by the way, got to record Monday next week.
So Monday afternoon coffee.
Yeah. Oh, I'll get some little wafers that we can dip in them.
There's nothing that excites me more than a Monday after 8 hours of work than having a nice cup of Joe.
To really wake yourself up.
Woo, all right.
Oh, boy.
Alarm went off at 6:15 this morning. Out of work. It's about 3:30. Got to go record the podcast. Where's that cup of coffee?
I feel like it's coated my entire mouth.
Yeah, the spice portion of the pumpkin spice, it definitely feels like it lingers. Mm-hmm. So I did tweet while I was there. I tweeted a picture of me ordering. And now maybe somebody can help me, because I don't even know that this is a drink, what this man picked up. Now, when I started, there was one guy waiting, but other than that, I counted. There was 10 white females waiting for coffee. I ordered, then there was one other man there. One man in front of me in line was what I anticipated everybody would be. Could not handle the wait.
We got to get a PSL selfie, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, boy. Is the label out on that, Steve? I don't know if there's a...
Don't know. Yeah, that's how it's going to be. All right. Continue with your story while I...
So one guy gets fed up with the wait, leaves. One guy who had already ordered was waiting. So I listen, because I'm next to the disgruntled man who's making these drinks. Now, this is what this guy picked up. I don't know what any of these are. Oh, hey, your order's ready.
Can you open that up and let me know if that is how it's supposed to look, and then look at Kyle's?
Yeah, because they definitely...
They labeled the cups
that's
wrong.
Foam, right? Like whip? So they screwed the label up, I think.
Oh.
Because that one was labeled no whip.
Yeah.
But there's they steam. It has foam, but not that's not whipped cream. There's like a steamy foam something.
Okay.
That
You
comes out of
idiot.
a latte.
Oh, well, we may have drank the wrong ones then.
I'll switch you lids if you want.
Does that taste right?
I don't know.
Try Kyle's too.
Want to take a hit? Sorry about the sleeve there. So somebody, Steve, ordered. Now, maybe, actually, Annette, while you're here, maybe you know.
This tastes more what I'm used to.
Go ahead, take it. I don't need it.
Neither of you like
No, I'll drink that one. Listen, I told Steve, I know what I paid for those. One of those is getting drank.
So, Starbucks is so backwards that no whip actually means...
Extra whip.
Extra whip. But extra whip means no whip.
Annette, I have one question for you before you go. Somebody picked up an order. Now tell me if you know what this is. Because I was confused as all could be at Starbucks. But I'm not saying you're a regular. You've been to Starbucks. You had your specialty order there for the pumpkin spice latte. Somebody picked up a Venti, no fat, no water, 135 degree chai. That's what. Do you know what any of that is?
No.
Okay, good.
No water.
No water. Like chai is tea.
Yeah.
In what?
How do you have...
Milk tea?
How do you have tea without water?
Is it milk?
There's two ingredients. It's water and tea.
I don't know. That's definitely what he picked up. And then 130. What are they normally? 150? What's the normal? Like
No
15
idea.
less degree? You can do degree orders? By the way, you texted me that special order this morning.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous about ordering it, I quick downloaded the app. And I was going to order via the app.
No,
but
man,
the
you
app
can't.
only works with brick and mortar locations.
Oh, and these
So
are...
the one that I went to, which is the one you're familiar with, in
the
the front of a
grocery
grocery
store,
store, is did not have the option because I figured this would be a lot easier than trying to mumble out what Steve just ordered.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me try this version. Maybe 2%.
I bet you're going to love it.
Oh, that's the difference.
Is it different?
Different enough. Still pumpkiny.
I should have tried the other one. Maybe I would have loved that
Maybe
one.
you would have loved the soy. No,
Bring back mine.
no whip. Hey,
Bring that back!
the white man wants his white coffee.
The white man?
Oh, sorry, Steve. The man who's white would like his white man's coffee.
All right, I'm tweeting this right now. PSL selfie, tagged you. Hashtag so white. Hashtag so basic.
Yeah, all things. All things. I noticed there's a gift there, but I don't want to leave any more loose ends from the opening of this podcast episode than we need to, Steve, so I need to get right into it. Mm-hmm. We talked at length last week about your burgeoning gym career.
Yeah.
Again, you're back into it.
Back.
Wayne Dreamboat gone.
WD.
Not
out the
forgotten.
door.
You decide to go back after Annette fat-shamed you in fear of your photo shoot coming up this winter, possibly.
Yeah.
Now, you said the words to me that almost threw me out of this chair. If I wasn't so close to this wall, I might have
think
fallen right back out.
It's going to be. It's a lot less than what you're thinking.
You said, I'm thinking about canceling. Now, this is after, no exaggeration, 15 months of paid inactivity. You go back for less than a week of activity.
Yeah.
And now you're going to cancel?
I think I'm just going to. Well, when I wasn't going, I didn't realize how annoyingly just long enough of a drive it is to get there. So now that I actually am going, I'm annoyed by the drive.
You go after work usually, right?
No, I've been going. Well, let's see. I've come home and then gone back.
That seems like a terrible error on your part.
But then because I don't want to. I gotta get home, let the dog out.
Oh, okay.
Plus,
okay.
I am so hungry by the time I leave work every day that I'm afraid that if I go to the gym, I'm just gonna
have
pass out.
issues.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass out. So
Just to clarify, what do you at? 15 minutes there?
yeah, about that. There's a gym though.
This seems like a grade A excuse to stop going. 15 minutes?
No. Well, there's a gym that's 1 mile from here. 1 mile from my house.
Different company?
Different
Same,
company,
but
yeah.
it's a chain?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's right off the main road there.
And it's so freaking convenient.
But let me ask you this. Do they have the exerciser? Do they have your massage chairs? Can you get tan?
Boy, I don't know.
And is it judgment-free and a lunk-free zone?
I'm assuming that they have an exerciser.
Huh.
But I can't.
Now, I think I know the company. Let me look at how much
I looked it up. It looks
Same
like
price?
it looks like they may be $1 or $2 lower
than what you were paying but that's probably their basic, right?
Well, it says access to thousands of locations.
Well, you do get all of them, yeah, but you're not like I said. I doubt they have the tanner, the massage chairs
Look,
that
man,
you so like.
I'm going there to lift.
Yeah, that's
Going there to get swole.
listen. I'm there to pump. I don't care about anything else going on other than my pump.
Yep.
Okay. So 15 months of inactivity, I'll let somebody else do the math on that. Followed by 1 week of activity leads to a cancellation for Steve.
Yeah, 5 times in this last week.
The national chain
5 times.
loves your support and your financial donation to their cause. 5 times this last week. Now, is that every weekday you went? Did you hit it?
No, it was like random days throughout the week. There were some soreness issues that could not be avoided, could not be ignored.
Yeah. You feeling better?
Yeah,
Feeling
much
good
better.
about yourself?
Much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lost any pounds? You've been keeping tabs?
Have not stepped on a scale.
Haven't even looked.
No.
You just want to have a net? You want to? I'll leave the room, or you can leave the room. You can just lift up your shirt, and we want to have a net judge.
Well, we know what she's gonna say.
Nah, keep going.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'm happy though.
Okay. 5 days a week, you think, going forward? Maybe at a new place, closer
Boy.
to the house,
Tell you what,
closer to some fast food.
because normally what I do is when I get there, I do about 15 minutes of cardio and I run on the treadmill. Well, I do 10 minutes of cardio, so I run just a 10-minute mile on the treadmill. Then there's like a 3-minute cool down.
Okay.
So by the time it's all done, it's like 1.2 miles or whatever. This other gym is 1.1 miles from my house. I could run there, do my workout, and then run home. What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds fun.
By the way, it is so warm in here.
It is a little toastier now that we sat down, and maybe it's the lights. Do we need to bring back mood lighting?
Well,
I'd say let's bring back mood lighting, but we don't have the...
There's not a dimmer, so...
Yeah, it's either darkness or this.
Now, or...
Yeah, that's pretty dark.
I'm not...
I don't hate it. We'll
okay with it.
We'll live like teenagers, for the first time on their computers late. We'll live by the computer light.
Yeah.
Just staring at that's really healthy, good for your eyes too. It's beautiful.
All right, so I want to get to something that loyal listener both to this podcast and to the side gig, Betsy Boo on Twitter.
Oh, okay, yeah, Betsy Boo 116. If everybody wants to give her a follow for this, or for not just this, but she is an interactive listener, which we always love. You can listen. That's great, but it's always. I enjoy interacting with people on Twitter regarding the podcast and the idiocy that happens here.
Well, Betsy sent me a message maybe a week and a half ago and said, "Hey, keep an eye out. There's something coming for you to the radio station." And she specifically said, "Open it before you take it into the studio, so you can take out Kyle's gift."
Okay, just me?
Yeah,
not the podcast as a whole.
No. Well, there was something from me,
but not related to the podcast.
Not related to the podcast.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Your side gig or whatever.
So, so it showed up the other day.
Oh my goodness! Look, that's a gift pack.
This is from
That's amazing.
So,
well, thank you very much, Betsy. Should I open it?
Yeah.
Is it? I don't want to, violate any trust if it's like a very personal gift, Now
the note that she had a note in the box, and she said, "You can read this note on the air, but don't read the individual notes on the air." So maybe I'm not sure
go
what.
ahead and pull that out.
Yeah, you don't have to untie it.
Having issues unwrapping.
So
this is very nice. I don't like these. Makes me uncomfortable. But thank you very much. It just
maybe don't thank her yet. What if you open it up?
Oh my God!
It's just a card that says "F you." You're garbage. Please quit.
Leave the podcast, you big idiot.
Steve has been auditioning other Kyles.
I believe she's messaged us about this. Steve, Kyle, and Katie, to my dear wife. Congratulations on the impending arrival. From our family to yours, please accept this copy of our book, Sleep Baby Safe and Snug. which we wrote after my nephew died of SIDS at 3 weeks of age.
Oh.
It has great reminders of how to put baby to sleep safely. I wish you much joy and happiness as you await your new wee one. Enjoy the magic. Heart, Betsy McCormick at Betsy Boo 116. Thank you very much, Betsy.
Very nice.
That's very kind. A card with Charlie's Kids Foundation. Everybody should check that out at Charlie's Kids. I believe it's charlieskids.org. You can put that link in the show description as well. Check that out. That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Betsy. I'll have to, if I figured out how to remove yarn or string, I'd be in a lot better shape. But there we go. Just rip it. That's like a child on Christmas morning, Steve. So this is a book she wrote. That's impressive. That's more than I can say.
Jeez.
Oh, this is a copy. This is a one of the sleep sacks as you mentioned. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Back is best. You're supposed to put them in the sleep sack, and they're not supposed to sleep on their stomachs anymore. Sure. Science has shown that. That's one of the most
blanket. Isn't that the craziest thing? Like,
it's one of the most terrifying things ever, Steve, because there's no definition of why SIDS happens.
Right.
That's why it it's called that. But that, talk about horrifying.
Oh my God, I can't.
That's why they say parents with their newborns, like, you wake up, like, anytime there's a noise or anything, like, hey, it's too quiet, like, maybe I should get up and check. And that's why you get the idea of putting mirrors on their noses and things like that. So thank you very much, Betsy. That's the sleep sack. I'm assuming this is the book. Boy, well, that's tremendous. Sleep Baby Safe and Snug. That's fantastic. Thank you very much for this. That is way too generous. Like I said, I do not like getting very personal gifts because I feel uncomfortable with that. But this is way too generous and way too kind. Thank you, Betsy. And also thank you, everybody, for the well wishes on the impending birth of my first child. We are less than 4 weeks away, Steve.
Ooh. Again, that's Charlie's Kids Foundation, charlieskids.org. You can email info@charlieskids.org if you have any questions, too. But we'll put that in the show description, too, in case you didn't get a chance to write it down or you want more information on it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Very cool.
Love it.
Very cool. Thank you, Betsy. So let's see. What did we want to move on to now? Oh, you have some audio, right?
I do. Yeah. Now this was a late edit to the game because apparently the initial edit didn't quite send the way it was supposed to. So it was 9/11, Steve. 1 year ago, we were recording an episode to be released on 9/12 of 17. Now, did you pull up the show description?
I didn't. I avoided it. I had told you before we started recording. You said, yeah, somebody spoiled it on Twitter, but they did. It seemed like they didn't mean to.
Sure.
Because they must have set a reminder in their phone as well.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, I'm sorry to I think it was Jeff Cooling. I'll go ahead and unmute you now. So I didn't want Steve to see that tweet. So there, we're all good.
And it just turned out that last week I was super busy. I don't think I logged into my personal Twitter account for a week, and I just did yesterday. So I was just kind of scrolling through and liking some random stuff and retweeting and everything. So I did not see whatever it was that. Would you say his name was Jeff?
Jeff Cooling. Yeah. Don't worry, I unmuted him, but thankfully you didn't see it.
Nope, saw nothing.
So 1 year ago, Steve, we were recording an episode. Now I saw this in my calendar coming up, but I had kind of forgotten it until we recorded last week. So let me do it this way. Let me just tell you what my notification said.
All right, and I'll see if this spurs any kind of memory for me.
Yeah, okay, so this is how it was written in my calendar. Ask Steve how many doors he uses at his house.
Ask Steve how many doors.
So Steve, sorry, I did that wrong.
Yeah.
Steve, how many doors do you use at your house?
On a regular basis, 3.
Okay. Does that bring back any memories?
I think I know what this is about.
Now, we have the audio to accompany it, a very quick tidbit of why I had this reminder in my phone. Do you want to play that and then discuss what happened 1 year ago?
Or should I make my guess now so we can see if it's...
Yeah, that's a good idea, too. What do you think that was in regards to? Because I didn't have one ounce of a clue.
No, I know. I'm pretty sure I know exactly what it's for.
Okay.
When we moved in here, we changed all the locks, like put on the new doorknobs, and I remember spending an obscene amount of money to get like matching, like so they all match, so they would all use the same key.
Steve, roll that beautiful audio evidence.
All right, here we go.
So you're at 30 per for 3.
Well, I think there were 33 apiece.
33 for the
$100.
right? Yep.
Plus another $110 is what?
You're at 210.
210. Okay.
You're at 210 with 5.
210
you still
with
need
5.
The mat.
We
You still need the very last one. Now,
which is the front door, the decorative one.
Why don't you just put the different one in the front? Go extra key for a door you're never going to use, right? Because you know of those 6, how many are you going to use on the daily?
Oh.
2? Mm-hmm. I can't wait in a year to ask you.
Hey, when was the last time you opened that door? What door?
I'm going to put it in my phone right now. In 1 year, ask Steve about how many doors he uses.
That's going to be a random thing to pop up.
Yeah, it is. I'm not going to understand. And it's going to come up on 9/11. I'm like, what the hell?
The real thing people should be talking about
This
today.
makes less sense than usual.
So the final door, the front door, which isn't just the doorknob. You know, it's like it's the big neck with the
rationalized
little
portion.
thingy and the key and the this and the that and the decorative piece on the back. How much do you think that one was?
Boy, if he said 55, I'm terrified to guess 70, 75.
Could have bought 2 of them for that price. Like $140.
Come on.
I swear to God.
What?
Oh, boy.
So-
I had forgotten how much all of that cost.
So moving into this house, you're in Annette's presumed forever home, or at least close to forever until you can't function walking up the stairs and you have to move to a one-level condo.
I swear
with in-home assistance.
In the last week, we've talked about, like, hey, like we were walking the dog. We're like, hey, man, the house in this area ever goes up for sale. We should.
Oh my God, you're so good. You're going to become like a flipper, but flipper of already like expensive homes with the profit margins already razor thin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we flipped that one, made $400 on it.
Only held it for 6 months. Worked great. So 1 year ago, Steve, you're moving in here. You had to replace all the doors and the locks, and you couldn't wait because I'm assuming there's a way you could have found them online for probably cheaper, but you're at a store and
probably
you're only finding these ones matching and smart key technology. I listened to the whole bit.
Yeah, you have to find the ones with either the same code on the back, so the keys work, or the smart key ones, which is now you can take like any key and make it work for your door.
Right. So 6 doors you got.
Was it
Six. Yeah, that because we had the 3 for 100. The 2 for 110 more, and then the front door for
why were
one.
Why were 3 100 and then?
Because you said you
were...
could only find 3 of one key, and then you had to buy 3 of the smart key or something like that.
Okay, I got
or
you.
2, but those were 110, and then the $140 big hammer on the front door. You bought 6 new doorknobs and locks, and the whole deadbolt thing. I believe you bought for all of them. Mm-hmm. So I asked you again on the daily. About how many doors do you use in your house? Like with lock, I should say.
2. Okay. I use the door from the garage into the house, and I use the back door to let the dog out.
Which I believe was my rationalization for when you said the front one was going to be 140.
Yeah.
My idea was, well, you're never using that to come home. Like, you're always pulling into the garage. Yeah. So 140 for a lock that you're never going to have to unlock by key seemed absurd to me. So here you are. How many times you come home that, you know what, garage to the house is fine, but I'm going to go get the mail and maybe walk up my own front steps and walk in my front door.
I will pull into the garage, get out of the car, walk out of the garage to the front door, pick up like a package from Amazon, and then turn around and walk and go back in the garage.
Okay.
And you know why? Because that $140 or $150 front doorknob, the lock is so fidgety on it, where it does normally you just go click, you turn the little thing and it clicks. Well, this one, it's like you turn it, it doesn't quite lock, so you have to undo it, do it again. Like, I'll stand there for a minute flipping it back and forth.
For $140?
So I avoid the door. I just don't use it. Somebody could knock on the door. I won't answer it because I don't want to have to worry about locking it when they leave.
Do you want me to start coming in through the garage?
It'd be nice.
I come in through the front door.
Yeah.
I knock on the, but a lot of times the garage door's closed, so maybe I'll just knock on the garage door.
Yeah, just
Just bang on it for a minute.
I'll stick a doorbell out there, or better
Ooh.
yet, I'll just give you. We have an extra remote
Oh, okay.
for the garage door, so when you get here, just hit the
buzz
button.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you thought about maybe putting in a keypad for me?
It actually came with keypads, but I didn't
You didn't
bother.
install them?
Yeah, didn't bother.
Be some
installing
extra
them.
wiring and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't want anything to do with that.
Boy, that'd be nice. All right, I'll start doing that. I'll start knocking on the garage door, telling you, "Hey, open the garage. I'll be there in a minute."
Yeah.
That way, you don't have to worry about the $140 fidgety lock that you bought.
I figured out something even better. Our garage doors have the app. I'll put the app on your phone and I'll sign
Hey.
into it for you.
Boy, I'm going to be at home messing around. You're that. It's going to turn on in my pocket, and all of a sudden, Steve, 2 a.m, Steve's up and down, up and down.
Me and Annette are laying in bed like, you hear that? The garage door open? Oh, it's just Kyle. I just got a text from Kyle. He needed to borrow a pipe wrench.
At 2 a.m?
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, Kyle. You know Kyle. DIY.
Wrenching away.
DIY guy.
Yeah.
Always working on something.
Yeah, he started putting a table leg together 8 hours ago
With a pipe wrench.
with a pipe wrench. No, I think about it. I should probably ask him about that. So, do you have, 1 year later, do you have any regrets about the amount you spent, or are you happy that you have them all on one key?
Bleh.
I'm
I'm happy they're all on one key, but
$150
is
later.
that what it was?
$350 for all of them. $140 for the big dog up front. Because obviously the decorative handle.
Whatever,
and
man.
the lock that doesn't work.
Like, you know just as well as I do, and everyone else listening, when you move into a house, that like 1 month period, it's like, money? What's money?
Yeah.
Here, you take some.
Yeah.
You take some.
You're
you take
Oprah.
some. Yeah, exactly. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Like you have no concept of it because it's like, what am I going to just not have doorknobs?
Yeah, right.
You know, am I not going to have windows in the house?
Right.
If you need it, you need it. So whatever. It sucks that I had to spend $350. I wish I hadn't been reminded of that.
To put a bow on it, though, before we move on, how many sheets of drywall would that be?
Oh, we'd be able to put drywall 4 inches thick in the APS.
So soundproofed is what you're telling me.
Now, there's like upstairs, right off the kitchen, there's a little coat closet, and up on the shelf in the coat closet, when I bought those doorknobs, you know how normally it's you get the doorknob and then there's like the separate deadbolt.
Yep.
All of them I got doorknob deadbolt. Even though not one door in the house was drilled for a deadbolt.
So you have the accessories.
Bought them anyway because I'm like, well, I guess I'll just install the deadbolts on here.
Pay extra for that to have the deadbolt.
Yeah,
part?
of course. Of course I did. What a dumb question.
So your mind, even though the doors were not ready for it in your first month of living here, you thought, yeah, I'll need these.
Ask me how many deadbolts are installed.
See, if I walk around your house right now and I tried to break in, how many deadbolts would I need to get past?
0. Not one deadbolt. No, not a deadbolt to be found.
The important part is you still have them.
You know, I can be safe at any time after an hour or so.
Why don't we
of
do
work
that?
doing
Why don't we, you and me, one afternoon, we'll go get a deadbolt driller bit, and we'll install some deadbolts.
I'm up for it.
Let's do it. I figure every door.
You sure you're up for this?
Oh, I mean, what do you need? You need a bit, zip it through, install it, you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you have to probably cut out the little portion in the frame.
Yep.
You use a handsaw.
Yeah. Stick a router on there so you can route it out.
You know what? I'll save us some time. I'll bring over a nice paring knife. Carve it out. So I figure you hold the deadbolt on the frame. Do you trace it like a hand turkey with a pencil?
Exactly.
And then
like
you
that.
hand saw that
Yeah,
out?
you just use a hacksaw blade just in your hand, though.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It's actually amazing how little I know about how to do that. How I would install a deadbolt with it if it's not drilled out on the frame side.
You can buy like the little tool for it that you clamp on the door, and then you buy the specific drill bit that fits right into the template.
Into the door.
Yeah.
But what about the frame?
Problem is, most of our Most of our doors are metal.
Oh, now we're talking fun. So we need a metal bit.
May need a welder in case we cut it a little too big.
You got a guy on call.
I do. I got a go-to welder.
Friend at Merchant Automotive.
Yep, not there anymore.
Friend that used to be at an automotive place.
Yep. He's exploring other options as we speak.
Seems by choice he's
No.
exploring other options.
He is gainfully employed once again.
Oh, okay,
Just
good.
remembered, yeah.
I don't feel as bad anymore. Sorry about your luck, Joe. So we're gonna carve through your metal door.
So we're doing this then.
I'm down. Let's do this. I don't know how to do it. So I knew
starting today.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's football on today.
Yeah. What time your footy ball Lions play?
Casino after. It's no big deal.
What time do they play?
I think like 4:00.
Well, we're gonna be done this in like an hour.
We could wrap this thing up now.
40 minutes, folks.
Yeah, sorry about your luck. Fast 5 don't have it. See you next week.
Yeah, Thrifty 3 is not happening this week.
Oh God. Does it just like escape? Like, do you think about it? Because you're a guy who during the week you'll take some notes.
I do. I think about it all the time, and then I draw blanks. Or I'll be in the middle of something. I'll be driving home, and I'll think like, oh, I should put that on the Fast 5 for next week because I just have a note on my phone that I keep notes on. Mm-hmm. And then I just, for whatever reason, like I don't want to be playing with my phone while I'm driving.
Oh yeah.
So I'll try to think, okay, as soon as I get home, I'm going to set like a mental reminder.
Yeah.
As soon as I pull in my driveway, it's going to
write it down.
It's going to pop into my head. That never works.
Now you have Siri, you have an Apple, you have an iPhone. Mm-hmm. You just say, "Hey Siri, add this to my notes"?
Siri is useless. Siri is complete garbage. Absolute garbage.
Isn't it kind of surprising though that they've never improved it?
It's never gotten better.
They were the first one to have voice activated technology. Since then, Google has their own.
Give me an example of something I should make a note of.
Let's say make the Fast 5 for next Sunday.
Okay.
Or for next Monday.
So I'm gonna tell Siri, remind me to make a list of the Fast 5 for next week's podcast. Mm-hmm. While I'm doing that, I just want you to talk in the background as if I was in a normal
episode,
normal atmosphere, like I'm driving home and listening to the radio or something, and you're the talk radio guy on the station.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me know.
All right, I'm going to start now.
Okay, coming up later on, we're going to have the new hit by the Bee Gees, and then we'll give you a weather and traffic update. That's on the 4s every 10 minutes.
You.
Son of a bitch, it worked. Make a list of the Fast 5 tomorrow, 9 a.m.
Oh, good. Well, at least it nailed it for next week.
All right. Remove.
Well, I mean, you should leave that in there. Just change the date so you don't forget.
Remove it.
Move
I
it?
Deleted it.
Oh, I hope she asked move it. Okay.
Siri, remind me on Wednesday at 2:52 p.m. that you need to go to the store, buy onions. That's what it does every time. Every single time.
That's fascinating. Such horrible execution on their part.
Every time. Like, I haven't stopped talking yet. Don't
just interrupting
jump in
you.
there.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Garbage. Absolute garbage. Did you see that Apple had their big event last week where they announced all their new iPhones?
Yeah, what are we at, the XS or something now?
There's like the XS, the XR.
That's a perfect expression for what that iPhone, the XS.
Yeah,
like
it's massive.
It's still at $1,000 now. The norm?
I think some of them are more than that.
It's just asinine.
Like if you want the XS with like 256 gigs, I think it's like $1,400 or something.
Well, let's talk space. That's unnecessary for anybody.
Yeah, I have 128, and it is so much more than I will ever use.
Right, just unnecessary.
And I don't know, because the only thing I care about is how much music can it hold.
Right.
And can I take a bunch of pictures? Can I take 5 pictures without having to delete like 4 old ones? Because I don't have my stuff connected to the cloud.
Oh, right. You don't want your nudes getting uploaded. We talked about your body shame. You don't like that being out there.
Yeah, I don't want my fat boy pictures all over the internet. Now, but 256 gigs.
That's a large amount.
What do you have on your phone that's that big.
Unless you're downloading, you just see a new app and then you never want to delete it.
Yeah, but even apps take up like no space at all.
Right.
I'm assuming that's for people who travel a ton. Maybe they have
HD video, maybe?
Yeah, maybe they download a ton of stuff off of Netflix or iTunes or whatever, like a bunch of movies. But still,
But even still, those are probably
a gig
one
or two.
one a piece, and then you watch it unless you buy it, and then you delete it.
Yeah,
That
not
seems
for me.
insane.
Not for me.
Well, speaking of profit margins and struggles, Steve, I saw a post by you on social media this week.
What did I say? How funny was I this
Can I ask you how the Jeep sales going? Last week, you showed we talked about this topic. You showed no concern. You seemed content with where you're at, no rush.
Look, I'm still at that point where I allotted money that no, I don't want to lose it, obviously.
Oh, sure.
But it was kind of a reserve. So I had set aside money specifically for this. So financially, everything's perfectly fine. I just get antsy. I don't want to still have this vehicle.
Been sitting on it for a while.
Sitting on it for a while, since like July, I think. I think we got it. Maybe late June. But it wasn't actually for sale until about a month ago. 3 weeks, maybe a month. Had one woman come look at it, was super interested in it, even took it to her mechanic. They inspected it. Everything was good. We had a handshake deal, and then it didn't work out. She failed to take the advice that we gave her day one and
call insurance.
getting in touch with her insurance company.
Yep.
So that sucked. Then Cy Nolan Ryan Young, my partner on this endeavor, last week sent me a message. Hey, man, there's a guy that wants to come look at it tomorrow. Whew, perfect. So let's...
rubbing your hands together like Ebenezer Scrooge.
Can't wait.
Counting your profits.
Here comes the money train.
Yeah.
So he said that the guy came and looked at it, was really interested in it, really liked it, and it was for his young daughter. His daughter was there with him, and it was like, Daddy, let's get this car.
Ooh.
Like, just loved it.
Never bring a kid to a big purchase discussion either. Are you kidding me?
Of course not. So he sent Chris a text or an email or something later that night saying, we are good to go. I just got to talk to the bank in the morning, and everything is a go. I'm like, well, that's weird because they didn't really talk money. So this is...
You were there.
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, okay, so you weren't there, but
no.
you know that financials weren't discussed extensively.
Yeah, so he sent this long message, and then at the bottom he said, I've been told to offer this amount, which was $4,000 less than what we had it posted for.
Then you're not good to go.
Yeah.
That seems like negotiations have barely started at that point.
Okay, for sake of the argument here, I'll tell you, we're selling it for $25,500. That's what the listed price is. He said, I've been told to offer $21,500.
Be curious by whom.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I said to Chris, well, reply to him and say, no, we're not all set because that's $4,000 less.
Yeah.
Like at that point, we lose money. We'd lose $500 on the deal.
God.
So then,
okay, so you would have done all the work.
So I guess then Chris had talked to him, and I'm not sure. I think he basically told him, hey, we can't take that. We'd lose money. And they had come to some other agreement, maybe. I don't know. But then the next day, Chris gets a text from him saying, yeah, I think I'm out. The bank will only give me $15,000.
What?
So... I don't know. I just assumed that if you were car shopping, you had already checked with the bank to see how much money they were going to give you.
Yes.
And it would have ruled out a vehicle that was $10,000 more than what
unless he made it known he had loose cash.
Yeah, maybe he thought that maybe he had a couple grand of his own and he was going to get something from the bank, but I don't know. Man.
I know the area. Most people aren't walking around with $10,000 worth of loose cash, petty cash.
Yeah. Well, that and the vehicle is parked at Cy Nolan Ryan Young's friend's house. Mm-hmm. And the guy that stopped to look at it, he knows that guy. He knows the guy whose house the car is parked at. And that guy had given Chris a heads up. He's like, he's going to lowball you. And
So he knew. And
sure enough, he did. So yeah, I've resorted to now posting it for sale on Instagram, on Twitter,
Oh, so you're making all the avenues.
every avenue.
You're looking to get it parked
Yep. And,
somewhere.
boy, there's no shortage of people with hilarious jokes about, well, I'll trade you a Stephen Kyle shirt for it. Boy, that's an original joke right there.
Because you're a guy, you're just trying to get out from under this thing. Get it off of the books.
Yeah.
Move on. Make a few dollars. Mm-hmm. So anytime you get a comment, you're like, all right, maybe
This is it.
Maybe this is the one. And then you
like even people saying, "Oh, would you ship it to Nashville?" Yeah, I would
on your dime, but sure.
Yeah, we can work something out.
Yeah. But I
That's
feel like
fine.
that's an easy way. Like, I'm going to comment on this guy's picture. And, I mean, it'll never happen. Because, Nashville's prohibitive. They could never get a vehicle
I know.
with 4 wheels from one spot to another. And
This thing was bought in. It was purchased from Louisiana, shipped here to Michigan. It can just as easily be shipped somewhere else. So let me ask you something, Kyle.
Hey, yeah. What do you got, Steve?
To the man with a growing family,
Yeah.
you ever think about having a growing vehicle?
Sure. Yeah. No.
You know, they
No.
say.
Actually, you know what? I apologize for being rash.
Yeah.
I've reconsidered.
Okay. You know how, as you'll learn, babies, when they're laying in their crib, they stare up at those little mobiles up on the ceiling. Mm-hmm. You know, stars, the moon. Oh, look, there's Jupiter. You know what's better than that?
A Jeep mobile on the wall?
A Jeep with no roof, so they can stare at them for real. Very safe. Yeah? Very affordable.
Here we go. I've talked about it with my wife.
Okay.
I'm ready to jump in the fray.
All right, are we negotiating now?
Yeah.
All right, it's just me and you here.
No wife.
No one else. No one else.
5,000 less than asking.
2,000 less than asking.
5,500 less.
Wait a minute.
Oh, hang on. Just getting a text.
Yeah.
I've only been approved for $6,000. Can you make that happen?
And 5,000 of it is euros.
Yeah, and then I got some stocks and bonds I can transfer to your name.
Yeah.
Something called Enron.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in a tough spot now. Now, I don't, like you said, you're not. It doesn't need to be gone, but you know you've been sitting on it for 2.5 months. This idea was to be a side venture for you and Seidel and Ryan Young, and you jumped in the fray at what appears to be the worst time to sell a vehicle ever, apparently, because you can't make a move.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the time of year, if it's because I don't think it's the price. Mm-hmm. Price. I think that people are scared off by rebuilt title. They assume that it's been driven off a cliff and totaled.
Yeah, and then just
Which is
put
not the
together
case.
with milk jugs.
Yeah.
And plastic.
Yeah, you can take it to your mechanic, get it inspected.
And take a look. You're a pro.
They'll give it a clean bill of health.
You've done your due diligence, obviously, is what you're saying. Mm-hmm. So check Steve's social media. Leave the jokes at home. If you're interested in a 4-door Jeep 2015 edition, rebuilt by Steve's hands himself, you know what? You play your cards right, he'll even throw in some Steve and Kyle merch for you.
I will. I absolutely will. What do you want? T-shirt? No problem.
Done.
Stickers? Got it.
Let's keep
Magnets?
the price point reasonable. Don't ask him for a hoodie. What is he, rich?
You know something? Price is right. You'll get that hoodie.
Whoa, folks, you heard it here first. The man who spends $350 on doorknobs, willing to splurge for a free hoodie of our choosing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will choose the cheapest one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's going to be like paper thin with a rubber zipper. Just breaks instantly when you put it on.
Yep. Yeah. So there we are.
We're not cheap, though. That's okay. So the Jeep sale continues.
Jeep sale, still struggling. Hopefully it happens soon.
Not frustrated yet completely. Well, obviously, two kind of falling apart sales, I imagine, are frustrating.
A little frustrated. I think we have to park it in a better spot, too, or where it's at. It's not getting...
A little more eyeball traffic.
Yeah. Yeah,
now, you have you thought about? Well, you've gotten that's what I meant to ask you. You've posted on all your social media. You said, have you gotten any legit bites from there where people have actually messaged you outside of the witty banter and said, "Hey, I'm interested"?
I haven't even checked today. To be honest, I just posted them yesterday. So I'm assuming not. I'm assuming that it's just a bunch of jokesters.
Boy, that's a bummer. Like I said, please leave your jokes at home.
Yeah,
and leave the humor to Steve. Actually, that's not a great recommendation either.
No, not at all. Nope.
We mentioned we'll give you a hoodie or a shirt of your choice, depending on whatever Steve wants to purchase if you buy his Jeep. Which brings us to the newest point. We've mentioned it a few times over the last few weeks, and it's not going to be a main talking point going forward. We will mention, like this week when we've uploaded a few new designs to our brand new merch store, Steve. If you're looking for that, you can just go to steveandkyle.com. Should be a bubble on the right side. Click on that. It'll bring you right to our shop with all of our designs. Yeah. If you're on mobile, just go to redbubble.com/people/Steve and Kyle. You can check it out there. It's also linked on all of our social media. It's not that hard to find. So just be on the lookout for that. We uploaded 2 new designs. Pirate Pete.
Pete the Pirate.
Pete the Pirate, sorry.
Pete the Pirate. Come on.
Realty. That was uploaded this week, as well as Steve's Sad Dry Lawn, which is just gorgeously done by Philip.
It is.
I put that on a bunch of different items as well. That is just a beautifully drawn Arizona skyline. Some cactus.
It's shockingly accurate.
Yeah.
Shockingly accurate.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm looking at it right now. So I'm wearing, of course, my purple Crocs, which I want that to be known. I do not own them. With white socks, of course, a pair of shorts, T-shirt with pit stains that says FBI Federal Boob Inspector, a red hat that says Make Boobs Great Again, the scraggliest beard I've ever seen, and for some reason, I don't know why, but Philip draws me, my arms always look like they're on backwards.
like they're rotating weird. Like you're always standing with your instead of your hands to your side, they're always your palms facing backward.
Yeah, my palms are always facing backwards. But and then there's one soul sprinkler head that's just barely spraying some water.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, though.
A gorgeous design, very well done by Philip. So be sure to check out the merch shop. A lot going on there, adding constantly. I think there's still a few more designs, or at least one more that I had.
Did he fix the website, by the way?
Meaning what?
Because on the one of me it says steveandisle.com.
Oh, I must have uploaded the wrong one.
No, I'm looking at our email.
Yes, yeah. I had him send me a new one. He had some spelling issues. Seems like he remedied those, so that's up there as well.
Okay, good. Yeah, there it is. There's the updated one.
I know. Now, I know there's a design hopefully in the works, and I'm going to call him out publicly. It's one of the ones I personally requested, Steve, that I hope he gets. I think it'll be a big hitter. I don't want to give too much away. I'll tell you off air, Steve, but I think it's going to be a big design. Big hitter.
Tell me right now. We'll edit it out, and then.
Oh, it's this logo.
Oh,
with
perfect.
you and I.
Nice.
Yeah, I want that bad.
Which one am I?
I don't know. I'm leaving that to him.
Well, anyone who watches, anyone who sees the picture that we tweeted earlier will
know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, can't edit all that out.
That's a big reason to follow us at Steve and Kyle on Twitter and Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle. I've gotten really into Instagram in the last week.
Have you? So, you've gone in waves. You've never been big into, you never got into Snapchat. We had the show in Snapchat. That was a disaster. But now you're telling me you're into Instagram now. That's the photo-only social media, Steve. What? Yeah, you're a big photo artiste?
Some of us call it Insta.
Oh, hey, you're talking to a guy who ordered a PSL because he didn't have time to say the whole thing. So I get it.
Yeah, call it Insta or the Gram. Call it the Gram.
What spurred this? Are you trying to recapture some youth?
The side gig. For a while, we were like, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this. So I finally set one up last week. And I don't know. I think I'm visual. I'm a visual person. I don't like reading stuff. I don't like Twitter. It's too much reading. I want to see funny pictures. I want to see pictures of dogs and stuff.
Oh boy.
So I'm on Instagram.
This
now.
is where we're at.
I've been on Instagram for a couple of years. I just never really done much with it. Look, I mean, look at this latest. Let me show you my latest gram.
Oh boy.
My latest Insta tweet.
Oh,
Look at that.
I hope I don't have to deal with this forever.
Look at that.
That is Lola.
Lola fell
with
asleep
a
on my lap yesterday.
Goldfish snack cracker on her nose.
Yeah. Yeah, she had a big day yesterday. It was her 8th birthday. So we did all the fun birthday things with her. We took her to the dog beach, which I will never go to again.
Disaster?
There were just too many people and just freaking dogs running wild. And it was the reason why we don't go to dog parks, because it was just too chaotic. I was worried. I'm like, some dog's going to attack her. She's going to get, ripped in half. Didn't like it. Plus, there was a guy there that... Nope, I don't even want to tell that story because it makes me sound like a terrible person.
Oh, no. Now I need to hear it. Can you just change some details so makes you sound better? Nobody will know the difference.
Okay.
Nobody will know what details were changed, and that way I can still look at you without shame.
Okay. So we walked down onto the beach, and it was one of those beaches where
I know what you're talking about. I think
you make your way kind of like down this trail through the woods to get to the dog beach. Then you get to the beach, and it's probably 2 or 3 flights of stairs down to the beach. Like, it's a big drop. So we get down there, sitting on the beach for... We weren't planning on staying long, maybe a half hour, 45 minutes or so. So Annette's out in the water. Lola's jumping in the water and having a great time. And the whole time I just keep hearing somebody yelling. And it's really getting to me. I wasn't really focusing on it, so it's just kind of like...
No, you're misconstrued. That's a goose.
Well, when I wasn't focusing on it, it just kind of sounded like that. And I'm like, what the hell is that? I turn and I look, and it's this kid. Appears to be probably 13, 14, 15, somewhere in that age.
Yeah.
And he's standing on the steps that we had walked down to get to the beach, just carrying on, screaming. And I finally focused on what he was saying. Mom! Dad! It's time to go home! Mom! Dad! It's time to go home!
No.
And this is just over
It's a loop.
and over and over. And I couldn't block it out. Couldn't block it out at all.
Oh, man. Now, the only thing that would make that remotely acceptable is if his mom and dad were gone or in the water dying.
I don't know, man. I don't know what the deal was. Annette said that she thought that maybe there was, maybe he was special needs of some kind, which, of course, I feel for that person. It makes me feel terrible. But on the same hand, I'm like, all right, well, if you're that child's parents, I mean, don't you kind of have to do something
To stop it. Or at
Just,
least to address the
Mom,
overarching issue.
Dad, it's time to go home.
No, just make it stop.
Mom, Dad, it's time to go home. Mom. So I finally said to Annette, I was like, we got to go because that's ruining it.
That's going to ruin it. Yes.
Now, again, it's not like we were planning on spending the whole day there. We had just brought the dog, a leash, a thing of water, and a beach towel.
Yeah.
So that was
it.
Just planning on hanging out for a little while,
Sure.
letting her run around in the waves. And that completely ruined it for me.
Oh, I don't blame you.
It was so bad. So bad. And I know that... And again, I feel bad because if there was some kind of issue...
But that doesn't excuse the other end, though, which is... And it happens everywhere. I know you're referencing this scenario at the dog beach. I mean, there's millions and millions of stories of... even me personally, movie theaters where things like that happen. Public places where it's just a total disregard of other people being there. Now, I know it's a public dog beach, but public also means there's other people there.
Yeah.
And to show some respect for the other people that are there. It's just madness that...
Because if there's an issue there, I can't imagine how difficult that is to deal with.
Oh, sure.
I would imagine that's one of it's one of my biggest fears. Mm-hmm. And because I don't know how I'd be able to deal with something like that. But I think I would always I would constantly be worried, like, okay, is what's happening right now having an effect on other people? Yes? Okay, then we have to remove ourselves from the situation because I don't want to ruin someone else's day. I don't want to ruin someone else's time. And so yeah.
I don't know, man. I think I don't know if you'd have been in the right, but I think if you went and said something maybe to did you see the parents?
No, that's the thing.
Oh, okay, so they were out of earshot and eye shot.
They could have been right there for all I know, but there were 200 people on the beach.
A guy, you think you're going to be a guy who, you're going to be, hey, I got to go find these parents and tell them what's up.
No.
You don't think you'll ever be that guy?
I don't. Unless it was something where, like, there was actual harm being done. Because in this case,
right,
it was just annoying, and that's all. And we eventually we left because we were planning on leaving anyway. We probably left 5 minutes earlier than we would have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if there was actual harm being done, yeah, maybe. Like,
didn't it alarm you that the parents weren't nearby?
It did.
Okay,
it definitely did.
But at that point, what do you do? Go try to talk to the kid who's just constantly yelling in a.
Or go up to every person. Is that your kid? No. Okay. Is that your kid? No. Okay.
At some point, it is not. It is simply not your responsibility. Mm-hmm. And you have to just say, "Hey, it's either I'm going to make it. I'm going to put the onus on me to address this in public, or do what the majority of people do, and you probably should do, which is stay out of it, type of thing."
Well, I kept looking at the kid to make sure, like, he wasn't in...
Right, not like sprinting into the water or anything.
He wasn't in danger. He wasn't endangering other people. So I felt as though they were probably keeping an eye on him, but doing like okay, well, we can't give in now, because if we give in now, then we got to give in every time that he throws a tantrum
making
or something.
A scene, yeah. But at that point, at least, I don't know, remove the situation? Yeah. I don't know. Oh,
yeah, it's one thing if it's at your house and it's not bothering anyone else, but
as a soon-to-be parent, I'm already mortified by the situation of and you've seen
baby
it.
Crying when you're out at dinner,
or you're at the grocery store and it's like not just a crying, but like a tantrum type of thing.
I want that.
What kind of guy am I going to be? Am I going to be the one? Now you see both camps. You see. Ignore it and let the tantrum continue, or you see. Well, I guess there's more than two camps. Or you see the drop the cart, grab the kid, and get the heck out of Dodge. Or you see, like, and I think you've probably seen instances of this as well, where it's like maybe overreact. Like, grab the kid by the arm. Like, you're going to shut the hell up, otherwise we're going to have issues.
Grab both of the kids and slam their heads
Three
together.
Stooges them.
Like it's wrestling.
So I don't know what type of parent I'm going to be. Well, hopefully not slamming my child's head against anything. That would be the goal.
I would imagine that it'll evolve. You'll probably start off, like you said right now, you're completely, you're already mortified just thinking about the possibility. And your child hasn't even been born yet.
Yeah,
I would bet that I would assume that if you talk to most parents, they all would say, "Yep, we thought that too," and it was like that for the first week, and then you realize that all your kid does is cry. So you just kind of deal with it.
I get so self-conscious though. I'm the person who, even in a movie theater, like if I'm not late, but if it's during the movie and like a box of candy I have has a wrapper on it, I don't want to open it because I don't want to offend or, catch the ire of everybody else in there.
Right.
Now, it's probably unrealistic because I expect that of everybody as well. And you don't get that. That just doesn't happen. People are, it's not a self-involved thing, I don't think, but, oh, yeah, this candy, better open it. Climactic scene, crying person and funeral. And then all of a sudden you hear, where'd I go?
Just do it fast, too. That's all.
Get it over. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Rip the Band-Aid off. Don't make me wait.
Or it's like when somebody opens, they have like a 20-ounce bottle of Coke, and instead of just doing tss and open it real quick, it's tss.
The hell? Is somebody deflating?
Yeah.
Is something going on?
Just open it.
Like, oh my God, the final scene. Here it is, the big movie I've been waiting for months. Oh, good. They brought sun chips.
They still make them?
The same.
No, I mean, like the super loud bags.
I think they changed the bag. Wasn't there a stunt on your side gig where he went on a bus or something like that to try to make as much noise with one of those bags as possible?
I think that was right before I started. But yeah, there definitely was a Sun Chips bag stunt at
What's
some point.
funny is those bags. Now we're in an age where, lose the straw. Like everybody goes strawless now.
Yeah,
you see that?
Are you anti-straw?
I'm not anti-straw because you have it. I had it at I think I told this story where I was at the concert that you couldn't make, and they're like, "Yeah, sorry, no lids or straws." So you're sitting there and we're in the upper deck and you're balancing this thing in a tray with food and it's sloshing everywhere. Yeah. But I understand.
Yeah, but they
put
put your drink in a plastic cup.
Yeah, so. Right. Yeah, no, yeah. That's the No. We're making changes. It doesn't make sense. We're in a day and age where they're doing this with straws, and it's all like even these sleeves. Yeah. From our PSLs, or was it the sleeve or the cup? It says something paper, like made with like 70% renewable or whatever.
Yeah, I think we should. Like, give me an argument against it. Why? Why would you not want a cup that is made out of something renewable?
Oh, there. This sleeve is made with 39% post-consumer fiber. Now, I don't know what that means. That could all be mumbo jumbo.
I would assume that means it's all made out of stuff it's all made out of recycled materials. So like the newspaper that you throw in the garbage, it eventually is going to become that.
Right.
Great. What's the downside?
Which makes
I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's just the liberal agenda." Like, who cares? Who cares if it's the liberal agenda?
Yeah.
Like, don't we want to make sure that the planet is here for future generations? Now, I know many people, myself included, in certain situations, well, I don't care. I'm only going to be here another 50 years, maybe 60 years if I'm lucky. I don't care what's going to happen. But I mean, come on, how would that possibly affect you negatively?
Which
if
makes
you know that you're drinking out of a cup that was made out of recycled paper.
Right. It shouldn't matter.
What are you going to do? Like, how is it going to taste different?
It needs to be a solo cup.
I would imagine that the cost is probably
negligible.
Yeah, it's the same. Just deal with it.
Which makes it all the more shocking because if I remember right, the Sun Chips bag the old bag was like that. It was part. Hey, it's made from.
It breaks down
recycled. But there was.
I remember their commercial showed it was like the time lapse of the bag breaking down.
Oh yeah,
and it broke down over the course of 6 months, as opposed to a Doritos bag of the same size. Years and years and years, if it ever, because that was almost like it was
thick.
like a foil type bag,
which makes it all the more shocking that public pressure, because it was loud, they switched the bag.
Yeah,
so Sun Chips
screw saving the planet.
Yeah,
that's too loud.
But that's okay. People are you don't see outrage over Sun Chips have switched their bag back. Everyone's like, oh no, that was way too loud. But if I use a straw, I'm the devil. It's just
right.
Okay, so this loud bagging. Now, granted, if I'm in a movie and somebody opens a bag of Sun Chips, I'm going to have a problem.
Yeah.
Open it. I'm a big proponent. Open it before.
Yeah.
Just have it open before.
Open it during a preview.
And if you're the jerk, bring an individually wrapped candy, like a bag of Starburst.
The Starbursts are pretty quiet, so that's okay. They're like the wax paper, so they don't make a lot of noise.
Right.
You're okay with that. It's let's see, individual gumballs.
Oh sure, yeah.
Does anyone do that?
A jawbreaker. And so not only do you hear the wrapper, and you hear 18 minutes of rolling around their teeth. Uh-oh, I hurt my tooth. Which now this isn't planned here, Steve, but I needed to mention. I have a movie coming out in 3 weeks.
All right, what are we going to see?
That has made it every time I see
the day your baby's born.
It's shut up.
Baby's got to wait.
Baby has to wait for 2 reasons. This movie is not the reason. Another movie is the reason baby has to wait. Okay. We're crossing our fingers, Steve, as a side note, for 9 days late for my firstborn child. for the most selfish reason on any.
So your baby's due October 11th?
The 11th, yeah.
So you're hoping for the 20th?
I think the 19th is actually the date. Okay. It would be that Friday the 19th. I need that's the date we're safe. So 8 days late, I guess.
All right.
But that's neither here nor there, Steve. There's a trailer that I don't know if we want to play it right now, and I don't know what the rules on that are. It's a incarnation of a movie. It's been made 3 other times, I believe, throughout history. So it's a tale and it's being modernized now. The most recent version was, I want to say, Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand back in 1978. The movie's name is A Star Is Born.
Oh, I saw the preview for that when I went to see Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, my goodness. Does that give me tingles up and down my body, Steve?
It's Lady Gaga and
yep.
Who's the male lead?
You really going to do this right now?
Yeah.
You're gonna That's Bradley
Cooper, of course, yeah.
That is my biggest man crush on the planet.
Okay. So that comes out... I thought that came out already.
Nope, October 5th.
Boy, okay, because I've seen a bunch of articles saying that Lady Gaga in that is incredible.
I'm
assuming that was just... I assumed it was out
festivals.
Already. Okay.
I see that trailer, and it starts in my shoulders, moves its way down to my fingertips, down my legs and my toes.
All right.
Tears start welling up in my eyes.
Yeah.
I need that movie in my body yesterday.
You need the movie in your body.
Inject it into my veins, whatever you have to do. Brad, I stand by it. That's the most handsome man to ever handsome. And sure, there's a lot of hair envy going on.
A little bit.
But if there's one actor that's the biggest man crush I've ever had, or I could have, is Bradley Cooper.
Okay.
And so, he's kind of been out of the limelight for a while. Yeah, I posted a picture of him on my Twitter last week from the set of the movie. Like how can you dispute this man?
Okay, I just Googled Bradley Cooper ugly picture to see if we can find it.
Can you find it?
Let's see.
Now, he didn't look...
Oh, yeah, boy, look how ugly he looks in that one, shirtless with a six-pack.
The closest one is him wearing a wig from the movie where he was, losing his mind.
Yeah, that's when he doesn't look great. He kind of looks like Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yeah,
from
that
Green
looks
Day.
like it was probably 03. That looks like it was pre-Wedding Crashers.
That's not. Yeah, it's not the worst. But I wouldn't look at this and say, "Man, look at that ugly guy." That's not even him.
That's Daniel Craig next to P. Billy Ford.
Yeah, that's Paul Walker.
But look at that. Even with short hair.
Oh, he's got the in-between hair. Those
God,
fierce eyes.
Woo!
Boy,
that is.
Yeah, that's an ugly guy right there. This is Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
But look at that next to him. That's peak Bradley Cooper there.
It is. Yeah.
You got a turtle, or not a turtleneck, but you've got a thermal shirt unbuttoned twice that. I know it's a little warm. That's got me extra warm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Handsome Bradley Cooper. I cannot. I'm telling you.
Beard attractive. Stubble attractive.
Yeah. Clean shaven from Wedding Crashers.
Like a 70-year-old man with a mustache.
That's Sam Lee. How dare you? He's also in A Star Is Born.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on your side here.
So this is a trailer. I went
Bradley Cooper in a bathtub.
Get out of here.
Sorry, I have to close this.
This is a trailer, Steve, that we were at a movie. I forget when it was, last Sunday, and we've seen the previews. We went and saw Operation Finale, about the hunt for a Nazi hidden in Argentina. Mm-hmm. And this trailer popped up. Katie was like mid-sentence, and if I remember it right, I held my hand up and said, "Shut up." Apologized for it after the fact, but I need total attention when I'm watching this trailer. He makes me swoon, Steve. I can't imagine how Lady Gaga had to, respond.
Yeah, I'm sure she was pretty excited too.
I mean, look at me, and I'm just a bystander.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper, your man crush. That movie does look good, though.
Oh, it looks so good.
So it looks like he's an
old country star.
An old country star, kind of, I don't want to say washed up, but it seems like his career is
on
kind
the
of
back end.
On the back end. She is a songwriter. but not a performer.
Correct. Doesn't like it. Can't do it.
Well,
she claims.
He convinces her to become a performer, and then they become like
They fall in love.
Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash.
Yeah, until she starts getting more famous than him, then it causes strife, and I think he's got an issue with the bottle. If any indication with the trailer. Oh, I can't wait, Steve.
All right.
This is going to be a multiple viewing for me before the baby is born.
So, we're going to see it. Let's go see that movie.
Oh yeah, I'm planning on going. If you're in, we're going that Friday night. I want to say.
I swear to God, if Katie's water breaks during that movie, I'm not going with you guys to help.
No, hospital's right there. I'll meet her there after. I mean.
And God help her if it makes more noise than opening up a bag of candy.
Keep it down. Bradley and Gaga are struggling. I'm trying to will their relationship through this strife, and you're complaining about a little water under your seat.
Water? So, if the baby is born at the movie, the baby will be named Bradley Cooper, right? Because that's a great first and middle name.
That really is. Boy, that didn't make the list, but that's really good.
Yeah.
All right, we're going back to the drawing board. Now, granted, I bought a specially designed name for him to go above his crib. That's going to look amazing.
Garbage. Throw it out.
It's going in the garbage when I get home.
Yeah.
That's like $50 I'm throwing away because new name, Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure that the name you picked, other people have been named that before.
Oh, no question.
Yeah, so it's not like you decided to name your kid like Grumph or something.
Yeah, Grumph Zulu.
Chances are you could, throw that thing on eBay. Put it on
somebody will want it.
Yeah, put it on Craigslist. Marketplace, someone will buy it.
Oh, man. You think I'd get like a retweet from him? Hey, meet my new son, Bradley Cooper.
I think so, yeah. Absolutely.
Like, oh, hey, I should come meet him and we should be best friends.
I don't know about that.
And then you can stare at me.
Probably no.
You don't think you'd want that?
It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, he seems selfish.
You're over him, right?
Done. On to the next one.
Oh, how about Bradley Gaga?
No, God, geez, deal.
Not as big of a fan of Gaga.
I'm a big fan.
Okay.
Here she's great. Can't wait. But yeah, I do need to hold on for 8 days. October the 19th is how long I need her to hold on.
I'm assuming the reason you want her to hold on is because after the baby's born, probably not going to be a lot of time for going to the movies.
Correct. Yeah, and obviously you have to accept things change. Everybody knows that. Not a huge deal now, but not a real secret. I love my movies. I go to the theater probably 40, 50 times a year to see new movies. Wow. Watch them all the time. I love it. I love the theater experience. I love it. Love all of it. So I am a massive horror movie fan.
Yeah.
And have been since a young age. Halloween, Friday the 13th, all of the classics, got hooked on at a young age. Well, I jumped into the Halloween film series at a really poor time when they made it was Halloween Resurrection in 2003, which is, there's not even a second place debate. That is the worst film in the series.
Okay.
They came back in 2007 with a total reboot led by directed by Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie's Halloween met with, we'll call it a tepid response.
Not good.
The sequel met with, well, a more tepid response. Not very good. And that was 2009. We haven't had a new film in that series since 2009. Also had a new Friday the 13th come out in 2009. But since then, those classic slasher franchises have been idle until last year when they announced a brand new Halloween movie with Jamie Lee Curtis involved, being written by Danny McBride of Eastbound and Down fame, directed by his friend David Gordon Green, who is a known director of comedy, so this is his first foray, ignoring Halloween 2 through 8 and becoming a direct sequel to Halloween from 1978. The release date on that movie is 7 days after Katie's due date. So we're holding on.
So you're hoping to see the Halloween movie
Thursday night, October 18.
Friday, A Star is Born.
No, A Star is Born 2 weeks before. Is a week before that.
Oh, okay.
October the 5th.
I got you.
But that's still within.
Oh, before I thought
both of these movies are within a 7-day radius of the due date, very possible I could see neither.
Yeah.
Now, her discomfort be damned. I need her to hold on for 8 days. And
That's not very selfish, right?
so I can see Halloween 2018, Thursday night, October 18, and then if she'd be so kind as to go into labor around 11:30 or noon Friday to give me a nice long weekend from work.
It's not asking too much, right?
You know, hey guys, I'm sorry, I gotta go. Shucks, darn it, and then I leave and I'm gone for the weekend. Listen, I don't think I'm asking too much.
No, not at all.
Just try to time it a little better, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
It's a big fall for me.
It is. It's a big fall. I mean, you got
all these movies,
2 great movies. Oh my God. Some baby thing.
But the 2 movies.
That's
doggy.
big. That is big.
What do you think? No, you're not a parent, Steve, but I'm sure you have an opinion on this. Here's a question for you. At what age do you think it like? And now I know it's different for parents and each individual case, but like, what age do you think? Like, hey, you watch them for a few hours, or we go dinner or something. What's the norm? Of like a couple parents going out for a little bit, not like a trip or anything, but a few hours, dinner.
Go out for dinner and a movie.
Yeah,
it's weird. I know people who have said that it wasn't until after the first year that they. No, actually,
Seems a little
clingy. It was a year before they like didn't sleep under the same roof as their baby.
Okay, so an overnight.
So, like an overnight.
Gotcha.
But got to be a couple months, I would think, right?
She's out on 6 days. And I'm just saying if he happens to be born on due date,
I'd say a couple months.
So 6 days, like a bit aggressive.
It's a bit.
Right.
I'll tell you what. I'll go to the movie theater. I'll just hold my phone up, and we'll do like a FaceTime or something.
You gonna have a bag of Sun Chips?
Oh yeah, of course.
Not interested.
It wasn't there like a Seinfeld episode where Kramer snuck in like a video camera?
Oh yeah.
Didn't he put it in the popcorn bucket or something? Yeah, perfect.
That'll be you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 6 days seems aggressive, but that's
a little aggressive.
Yeah, I've been waiting for these 2 movies now, and sure enough, they're here within a 7-day span of Katie's due date. Now, I think A Star Is Born is much more likely to be made, like being able to make a show of that than Halloween. Yeah. But I am still crossing my fingers. I'm probably going to end up buying a ticket and just hoping it works out.
So I got a little bone to pick with you and your wife.
Okay, I'm in.
There was a baby shower last weekend.
Yes, last Saturday.
My wife attended, and she said they had a wonderful time.
Good.
Everything was fantastic. And a card showed up in the mail the other day, a nice little thank you card.
Oh, did she? Wow, she's right on the ball. Good for her.
Feel as though there was a shot taken at me.
I already don't. I didn't have a hand in this, Steve, so I don't know what you're referencing.
Oh, you don't? You don't know what was in the card? Because maybe 2 weeks ago or so, I had posted on. I don't know. For some reason, I was in a social media pet peeves mood.
Letting everybody hear about it.
I think on Facebook, I posted like random social media pet peeve: people referring to their husband as hubs and their children as littles.
Oh boy, woof.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see that a lot in the informed page on Facebook. Like, I need a place for my littles to go today while I, go to work. Anyone have a great place to take them? Blah, blah, blah. I just hate that terminology. So, your beautiful wife, Katie, sent a very nice thank you card.
Oh, it's very nice. So it seems like the story ends.
Thanking us for the wonderful gifts.
Yeah.
For the little.
Thank you.
Her and Hubs just loved them. It's like, you?
She's nothing if she's not in tune with what peeves people, Steve. That is a beautiful piece of business.
It was very well played. Because Annette reads it and she kind of laughs. She's like, "Oh, here, do you want to see this thank you card?" So I read it and I'm like, "Oh, I know exactly what she's doing." Well played.
I was trying to find it. I was pretty sure while when I was posting
on Facebook, I think.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was.
I was pretty sure when I was posting on Twitter earlier, I saw one of our listeners, and you must confess, somebody refers to their husband as Hubs on our podcast Twitter quite a bit that we follow. So it's one of the people.
Oh yeah,
that we follow. I forget who it is, but just so you know,
this was not.
Steve hates you.
Well, that wasn't.
And your Hubs.
That wasn't targeted directly.
And your Littles.
There we go. Yeah, from September 4th, I posted another social media pet peeve: people who refer to their husband as Hubs or Hubby, and their children as Littles. Yeah, that's your wife, right there.
Well, you know what? If that's how you're going to respond to a thank you, I don't. Maybe we'll just leave the thank yous out of it going forward. That just seems incredibly rude on your part to, take shots like that. Oh, jeez, man.
So everything else good? The nursery's ready?
No. Yeah, you're talking to a guy who's in the midst of a 3 to 4 week long panic attack.
Okay, I thought that I thought for sure you'd have everything done.
It is for no good reason.
What do you need?
This mini
what
panic
needs to
attack.
be done?
Nothing needs to be done. There's a crib in there. There's nothing that needs to be done. We have a dresser, the crib. We have
walls are painted.
The walls are painted. We have the rock sleeper thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a bit tidy. I don't like an unkempt area. Mm-hmm. Well, right now we have a car seat. It's not in the car, so we just have it next to the crib. We have a play or a play mat. Nowhere to put it, so it's just sitting in there. Mm-hmm. I look at it and I see, oh my God, there's junk everywhere. I need this to be remedied. We're waiting on a changing table. I need to hang a shelf on the wall.
Oh boy,
because I want to hang it over the changing table.
That's your Achilles heel.
That's my nightmare. That's my nightmare. I'm gonna have to call you over.
Oh, you don't want to call me over?
Hang a shelf?
I had a bad DIY experience recently.
Oh, you know what? All right, we're gonna have to make time for it. What do you got? This isn't towel rod bad?
No. How long did towel rod take you? I was like 11 hours or
way
something.
Too many hours.
No, this is just Annette had ordered. She wanted to do some lights that hang down over, like the little island in our kitchen.
Okay.
There's an outlet on that wall right up there. Or there used to be a light up there, and it was when we painted the walls, we took it out because we didn't like it. So there was still like the wires for a light, but I was like, how about we turn that light? I'll shut off the power. I'll put in an outlet. Then we can plug in like those. It's like string lights, but like there are three pendants that hang down. And then you put like those fancy Edison bulbs in them.
Okay, yeah. So you're looking for a little bit of a vintage look.
Yeah. So we thought, wouldn't it be cool if we got just pipe? We had a pipe coming out of the wall, and then you have the pendants hanging down, and then the leftover cord is just kind of loosely wrapped around the top, so it looks like, gives it that vintage look. We're like, perfect. So Annette found the lights she wanted, ordered them on Amazon for like $20. We went out to Home Depot one day. We picked up the pipe fittings that we needed and everything. So basically, we were putting up a towel rod because it comes off the wall, and then it's a bar about 3 feet long. Right. So I get the ladder out, put the ladder up, climb up there, and I just put the level on the wall exactly where we wanted the bar. I was like, does this look good? Looks good. She handed me the bar. I put the bar up on the wall. I marked all the holes. There's 4 holes on each end. Handed everything back down, drilled all the holes, put the wall anchors in. She handed me the pipe, screwed it all back into the wall. And even as I'm standing on the ladder and I'm 6 inches away from it, I'm looking at it and I'm like, boy, that end is definitely lower. Like, way lower. She's down on the floor, or down on the ground looking up at it, and she's like, no, I mean, I think it looks okay, which I know is a bad sign. So I get down there and look at it, and I mean, it's not even close. So at some point when she was handing me the bar or something, I must have let up on the level, one end dropped down, and it was over a half inch off.
Oh no, that's because that's noticeable. Now, if it's an eighth of an inch, stuff happens. Like when we installed the dishwasher, I'll be the only one to notice that. But honestly, a half an inch, that's you could see that.
Probably could have gotten away with it, but of course I'm mad, very mad, because that's just...
Now you got holes in the wall, right?
I got holes in the wall.
Which
the
is always
thing
a
is,
bad
it's
sign.
installed. I mean, it's up there. So I'm like, well, I can't lift this end up a half inch because it's not going to, like, the base of it isn't big enough to cover all of the holes that I drilled. So I just lifted it up as high as I could, drilled 4 new holes, put 4 new wall anchors, 4 new screws, and now it's pretty close.
Can you see the holes?
No, I lifted it because the pipe has like a plate on the end of it that's about that big. Mm-hmm. So I lifted it up until those holes were barely hidden.
So it might not be 100% level, but it's
No one's going to notice.
not noticeable except for you.
Yeah.
So if I go up there right now, do you think I'd be able to tell that it's a bit off?
I don't think so.
I'll take a look on the way out. I'll be the judge of that.
I'm sure you will be.
Got a very discerning eye for DIY now.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard, I built a bookshelf.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Heard.
Own hands.
Metal and brawn.
Just manliness.
So yeah, that's I'm done. I'm just done. I hate it.
This is following the...
Then we get the thing all hooked up. I had Annette go up, like she stood up on the ladder and put the lights on. And I really like how it came out. We go and turn the light switch, and these things are so blinding. It was like staring at the sun.
You get some 100 watters?
I don't know what they were. I think they look like the old Edison bulbs, so you can see the wires in them. But I think that they are LED. So
You get like daylight bright or
Like-
day bright?
I'm like staring at them. It's hurting my eyes. So then I had to go back to the store, buy a dimmer, install a dimmer switch, and now the dimmer is on the lowest possible setting, and it's tolerable.
So, and you're known for your DIY, Steve.
Not anymore.
Is this a gut punch?
It's pretty bad. Yeah, we've had the conversation a few times of, why don't we hire that out? Let's let somebody else do that.
Except for APS
4.0.
Hand built.
Me, you, Chris.
Apparently, Chris.
Yeah. Chris presented, now Chris is the boyfriend of good friend Wendy. I would say I'm just as good friends with Chris as I am with Wendy at this point. I've known them both for 9 years. Mm-hmm. Chris brought up an interesting idea yesterday.
Oh.
He sent me a text because I had talked to him about an idea that I want for APS 4.0 that he's going to help out with because he has a little experience doing
He's
it.
got big ideas,
I
folks.
won't reveal what the plans are. But he said, so what's the plan for when Fizz's baby is born? Mm-hmm. I was like, well, we've been talking about how we're going to record an episode, which we still have not done yet.
Oh, we got time.
So that way, that week that the baby is born, obviously things will be a little hectic. Mm-hmm. We don't have to worry about coming over to
record an episode, yeah.
He said, well, I'd be happy to be a co-host and do the Springsteen podcast.
Hey, that's a free episode, right?
I was like, that is a darn good idea.
Now you're going to have to control his sailor mouth
It's true.
and his sailor bottle drinking habit.
Yeah. May have to be a...
I don't know that I'm quite ready to give up the chair for that, even for one episode.
Well, I already said it. That's happening.
Huh. Oh, you can go ahead and take my name off it for that episode, please.
Just the Steve End podcast.
Steve podcast. But you got to leave the space there for where you'd normally save and Kyle.
Yeah.
It is the Steve podcast. It is Sunday whatever. Mm-hmm. No, that is the plan. Ideally, we don't miss a beat here with episode releases. No, we have to, when we get off air, we'll look at our calendars and try to plan something out a little more
Yeah, we probably should
firmly
actually do that.
to
We've
record a timeless episode.
talked about that for months.
Evergreen is what we call it in the biz.
That is what we call it in the biz. Good point. Very good
And
point.
so you won't even notice that it's not a normal episode outside of us refusing to reference pop culture and news of the day.
That wacky weather.
Hey, Steve, how about those gas prices?
You believe those crazy politicians in Washington?
Things certainly seem to be not calm in the Middle East.
All right, you want to get to the Fast Five?
Yeah,
I
let's
know
do
you
it.
got some footy ball to watch today.
Yeah,
right?
there's sports on.
Yeah, sports
Waiting
ball.
for me in a jersey.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think... I don't know.
Believe I went first last week.
That means it's me?
Sure.
It's all on me.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Fast Five, you said?
Yeah, the Fast Five. Of
Oh,
course.
never a doubt in my mind.
Of course. First on the list, your Detroit Lions.
Ugly. Awful. 3-13. Here we come.
Next, Paul Manafort.
I'm assuming it's a big deal. We've talked about it before. I get tired of saying, "Is this the straw?"
This is it.
This is the straw, and but I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about him, and we obviously don't know anything about what's actually going on in the investigation. And
I don't know. According to
maybe
Facebook,
a big deal, maybe
according
not.
to Facebook, a lot of people that I know a lot of things about what's
whoa!
going on.
So you got some experts tuned in.
Got some insiders. Same ones that know everything about football too. It's
Maybe we
weird.
should get those insiders on the phone.
Good call.
Right? Hey, what's the Manafort deal mean? How
Up
about
next,
the Falcons?
The Emmys
Oh yeah, those are tonight, aren't they?
tomorrow night.
Oh, they're Monday night.
Yeah.
That's right. And a terribly ill-advised idea. They put it on a weeknight, and then they overrun by at least a half an hour. Boy, I've been out of the loop. I'm assuming This Is Us will win all the awards because every woman I know loves that show.
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones back in because last year they
They took it. They were off. They didn't release new episodes in that proper cycle, right?
Yeah.
Sure, man. I'm sure they'll win a lot.
All right, the new
it.
iPhone.
Hate it. Overpriced. Same.
Yeah.
Same. I'll ask you on the turnaround because I'm assuming there's just massive improvements and changes, right?
And finally, Elon Musk.
Really seems like a tipping point here, doesn't it? For Musk and
Doesn't it seem
SpaceX
like
in particular,
Seems like he's kind of
losing it.
losing it. There was that whole thing about the mini sub that they sent to, was it Thailand?
Yeah, he wanted to send the mini sub to Thailand to save the soccer players.
Yeah.
The one guy called him what did he call him?
Well, the guy basically said, I mean, it wouldn't have been possible.
Wouldn't
Like,
have fit, and
there were times where they had to just them. They had to squeeze through these tiny
take
little.
their tanks off and
Yeah.
push them through. Yet
Right.
he thought a sub was gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, unless it was gonna be
Now-
like a gelatin sub. that
and
would-
it's funny because back then I thought well, cut the guy a break. He's
trying to help.
He's trying to help.
Yeah.
But then when it was revealed, no, he knew that it wasn't going to work, and it was just a publicity thing. And then he called the one guy.
called him a name.
A pedophile.
Yep. That all of that mixed with now his most recent appearance on the Rogan podcast where he was smoking pot and people are like, oh, not a big deal, but then other people are like, well, yeah, but his employees can't. It's kind of
Yeah, because he is. Who was it? The Air Force was going to investigate him.
oh really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Because he's a contractor. Tesla or SpaceX is a contractor of the Air Force. I might be getting it wrong. And according to the Air Force's rules, any of their contractors are not allowed to smoke pot.
Okay.
So they might investigate him now.
His COO or CEO who had been on the job for less than a month quit. His HR rep, less than a month on the job, quit. Stocks riding a roller coaster. He wanted to go private. His board said, no, we're not going to go It
Well, he
seems
tweeted,
like
he
he's
tweeted
falling
that he
apart.
wanted. Yeah, he tweeted that they were going to go private, and then who was it? The SEC got involved, and they were just like, "Yeah, that's not how it works. You can't just tweet.
You can't just announce that you're
going to
go private.
We're taking things private." So man,
so it is done.
Elon, get it together so I can buy one of your cars. I really want a Model 3 for $35,000. Just get it right so I can get that car, please. And then you can do whatever you want. Go crazy.
Most recent announcement was that initially SpaceX was going to launch 2 people around the moon this year. Now he's having an announcement tomorrow with the person. So I said singular because it's now going to be a couple years away. One person in a different rocket going around the moon.
And when is it? By the end of this year, or
Not anymore?
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
but because it was not official, but presumed will be a couple of years because now it's a whole new rocket he's going to use.
Okay.
Instead of the one he had said with 2 people, it's now one person.
What's that take?
Seems like a fun trip.
How long did that take?
A couple days
4 or 5
there
days?
and a couple days back.
I thought it was
Yeah.
like 2.5, 3 days there.
Listen, Steve, I don't know much. Here's what I remember. Apollo 13 used the moon to slingshot back towards
of
Earth.
course.
That's the only way they survived.
you
I'm assuming.
gotta get the trajectory right. You gotta
Yep.
keep the Earth in the window.
Yeah, and I know Tom Hanks and Kevin Bacon were cold. So
Yeah.
I know this person sitting. That's not a fun trip.
I mean,
you're by yourself.
What is that like? It's like the moon's about 250,000 miles away. It's like 250,000, 260,000 miles away.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Yeah. But you got to hit it just right when you slingshot back around, or else you'll bounce off the Earth's atmosphere and never come back.
Seems fun to do
Don't they
alone.
have a steering wheel? Like, can't they do? Well, we're a little off course. Whoop.
Adjust
Hey,
it, you know.
There we go. We're
Here's
back.
the joystick. Y'all are right.
Yeah.
Rudders down. Right? Those all terms?
Anchors away.
Anchors away. That doesn't seem like a trip you'd want to do alone ever. And that's not fun. You're not enjoying it with anybody. You're like, yeah, I got a picture of the moon, and then I almost died because a piece of styrofoam burned up on departure.
Yeah. And then I had to land on a barge in the middle of the ocean.
And then Bruce Willis blew up the comet. Asteroid.
All right, before that, we had the new iPhone. A bunch of new iPhones announced the other day. This is something that I used to be so into. Mm-hmm. I used to be...
Apple guy?
I would set reminders. So, hey, remember the Apple thing? The Apple unveiling is on today, and I'd rush home and watch it. I haven't watched like the last 5. Now I'm at the point where I'll forget that they're on.
Sure.
Like last week, they did the announcement, and I didn't realize it till later that day, and then I'll just go to Gizmodo, because they'll always have a complete rundown. Like,
right.
Everything Apple announced today. I'll look at it and be like, new phone, this, that. Cool. Neat. All right.
Is it still the exact same phone with like the new world's most powerful camera?
No, I think some of them have upgraded cameras. They have faster processors, and the screens are bigger, glass like side to side.
Snooze. I'm sure they had, a thinner iPad?
I don't think they did any new iPads.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think that was the big
What about the new iPod? When's that coming out?
the new iPad. I don't think they're in the business of iPods much anymore.
Gotta be kidding me.
How much what do you think you can get an iPod for, like $7 now?
Well, it depends. You want a brand new? They still release like their newest, because I use it. Mm-hmm. I have an iPod in my car right now.
Why haven't you just
My phone doesn't have space.
Okay.
And
But doesn't
2, I
your
have an
phone
Android phone, and I have iTunes on my computer.
Yeah.
Hard to transfer all that and keep playlists. And 1 and 2 with this one, I don't have the space.
Okay.
So to listen to the music that I have on my computer from years and years would be a real headache to get that on my phone and make it compatible, and I'd have to download an aftermarket app. Not interested. Not interested. So I haven't done it. I don't know if I will. I'm actually looking at a new iPod. I need something that can play music in my car, not off my phone.
All right.
So if I go to maybe the Apple store, can we... Apple.com/iPod?
Yeah, because now if you go to their homepage, up at the top, they have Mac, iPad, iPhone, watch, TV, music, support. I guess music would be where I'd find an iPod.
I just went to apple.com/iPod, and it brought me right there.
Oh,
it's got the... Yeah, are they not make... It's an A8 chip in there.
Oh, with the 8-megapixel camera.
In 5 colors.
5 stunning colors.
So, yeah, safe to say they're in the iPod business, Steve.
I wonder if they still sell any of them, though. Like, do they make any money off of them?
I don't even see...
that's
there's the buy. There's buy. Let me see how much I can buy. I need a 64 gig, Steve. That'd be the minimum
Okay.
that I need. So we're at selected iPod Touch. Oh, free 2-day shipping and engraving. Thank you very much.
That you're going to get it in blue or
Oh,
gold?
32 gigs or 128, so my choices are a touch limited. $299. I'll say it. That's $199 more than I want to spend.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting an iPod.
That's kind of nuts because, like we talked about, most phones now come with 128 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, maybe I will look into the phone game if I upgrade my phone then.
What?
Not an iPhone. No, God, no.
Oh, okay.
A way to transfer music from iTunes to my phone properly.
All right,
If anybody knows, help me.
Before the iPhone, we had the Emmys tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm usually more in tune with that. I guess they snuck up on me. I'll watch. I'm a fan of... I like those award shows for all their self-grandizing pomposity. I still watch them.
I'll watch it. I'll watch to see what what the social statements are made.
That's all it'll be, too, right? Yeah.
Before that, Paul Manafort.
Yeah, flipped. People were saying he wasn't going to flip. He was going to go to trial. Even his wife was saying, no, he has nothing to say. Next thing you know, he'll be going to prison for a long time.
Sure seems like
and
it.
has now agreed to some semblance of a cooperation deal in regards to other things that Robert Mueller may or may not be investigating. I'll leave that up to whatever you want to think, because details aren't known. I mean, that's the thing with this investigation. In fairness, one side is saying, well, why are we allowing this to keep going on? He hasn't shown anything. But on the other side, it's not like we need progress reports. We're not in junior high.
Yeah.
The man was hired to do a job. Let him do his job.
And first on the list, your 2018 Detroit Lions.
You just want to hit the music?
Your 2018 Detroit Lions. Your 2018 Detroit Lions from Detroit, the Motor City.
Fast Five.
Fast five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We'll have to come back to that.
Seems like only a thrifty 4 or a fat 4.
For you?
No, on your end. You missed one.
No, I didn't.
Paul Manafort.
Missed one.
Yeah, there's only 4.
Well, you didn't.
What are you talking about? There's only 4, you big dummy. Count next time.
You big dummy.
Paul Manafort.
Guilty.
Hurricane Florence.
Massive. Man, that thing was. When you saw
Yeah.
those images that they showed from space, holy crap!
Those are always terrifying to look at.
It's like half the planet.
Oh, no, thank you. Man, I hope everybody's, obviously, I think 11 deaths at last I had checked from differing causes. I saw a couple died of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Right.
A tree had fallen.
There's
don't know.
one. Remind me on the way back the one video that was posted. Actually, I'm going to
Pull it up. I haven't seen any of these. I try to avoid
find
them.
it. This was from last week. It was from. I saw it on Friday morning, but I'll have
haunting.
to, I know I have it saved somewhere, but I'll have to show it to you just to get your reaction on it.
Jamel Hill.
Jamel Hill. I don't know who that is.
ESPN. The
That's
used to host Sports Center at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
She's done. Gone.
Why?
Left the company.
I don't know. There was a bunch of hubbub with her involved, right?
Yes, she was a lightning rod, but probably a lightning rod for a lot of the incorrect reasons. She has officially left ESPN as of Friday, September 14th.
Okay.
After that, Cynthia Nixon.
I know that name.
New York primary governor, Sex and the City.
Oh yeah, yeah. The short hair.
Short red hair.
Yeah.
The primaries this week. Did you follow it? Were you
sure
on
didn't.
top of it?
She win?
We'll get back to that.
Oh boy!
After the break. Henry Cavill.
Break is over. He's not going to be Superman anymore, right?
What a mess.
And he had some weird, like, cryptic.
I didn't
tweet. Right?
I didn't hear that. All I know is that the rumors, and nothing verified yet, but it seems like Henry Cavill out as Superman after long simmering rumors of Ben Affleck out as Batman. They were in talks to have Henry make a cameo appearance, I want to say in either Aquaman or in the Flash movie. Mm-hmm. They couldn't come to an agreement. So instead of just saying, all right, no big deal, you just won't make a cameo, they're done. So now the DC Universe, which is inarguably been a total mess since they started.
Now, you're a Marvel guy?
I'm a Marvel guy. But I go see these movies. I love the superhero mythology. I'm a big fan. So technically the DC Universe began after the Christopher Nolan trilogy of Batman finished, which was widely regarded as being fantastic with Christian Bale. They had Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, which was...
Didn't go over well, right?
Panned.
Which I watched. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, people didn't like it. It was too dark, and...
It was very dark.
The big climax was the name Martha being the difference maker in the fight between Batman and Superman.
Okay.
Not well regarded. Followed by Suicide Squad, one of the most critically panned superhero movies of all time. Mm-hmm. Followed by Justice League, also panned. The only movie they've had positive reaction from is Wonder Woman, which is one of the best movies of the year.
Okay.
and now losing their two primary actors as Superman and Batman. It's almost like you just scrap it and start over again.
Yeah, do it again. From the top.
Like, give yourself time. I think that's what they're doing wrong. You know, Marvel took them 10 years, 5 years to make an Avengers 1, but they had a 10-year plan that culminated with Avengers Infinity War, solo movies for all these people. No, man. DC, they started off Batman versus Superman, then the Justice League, and they
slow down.
Yeah,
Slow down.
They couldn't do it. So Henry Cavill, presumably out as Superman. For that, Cynthia Nixon, former Sex and the City actress turned politician and self-admitted Democratic socialist is what she called herself, running in the primary to be the governor of New York against Andrew Cuomo, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
Primary was this week. There's a groundswell of support for Cynthia Nixon. That got her all the way to 34% of the vote, losing 2-1 to Andrew Cuomo.
Boom, 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 boom.
It seems like these are in a lot of cases are in name only, and it's funny to me. And this is without political bias in this statement. Hey, we elected a reality show president. Boy, what a mistake! Whoa, this lady was on HBO though. We need to bring her.
Yeah.
It's funny to me.
Yeah.
In seeing that dichotomy that it's not really that different. It's just the other side, and obviously it failed this time.
President Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, 2020.
Only if he brings the Hulkster on board.
Well,
He apologized to the Boys and Girls Club, that event he talked to. He's fine.
seems like he's doing all right.
Doing fine. Before that, Jamel Hill, the sports writer / former anchor of SC6.
Now, the only thing I know about Jamel Hill is what you have told me about Jamel Hill.
Yeah, it's a big story.
On this very podcast.
It's a big story. She was suspended for tweets about Trump by ESPN. ESPN in hot water because they then created a social media policy. ESPN didn't want to get involved in politics. Jamel Hill was. It was ugly. She was the anchor of Sports Center, a news sports center, which is struggling. They thought this might help. Was there for a year. She finally stepped away or was forced to step away. That Sports Center incarnation then was just brought down with a wrecking ball. No more SC6 is what it was called. Very tumultuous time with her at ESPN until finally this past Friday she announced she was no longer with the company. They had parted ways for her to do what she wants to do. That's a pretty big deal. She's a pretty big free agent.
Where does she land?
I could see it at another sports network, or maybe she goes back to just writing.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a good writer.
What other sports net, like Fox
Sports,
Okay.
CBS Sports, something like that. But you know what you're getting with her. She likes to discuss politics, and that's you know what type of writing and journalism you're going to get with her. Before that, Hurricane Florence, the biggest news of the week, hitting. Was it just now? Granted, embarrassingly out of the loop. Was it just North Carolina, just South Carolina, both of them equally?
I'm assuming North and South.
Like both equally, though, pretty bad?
Pretty badly.
Okay.
I think that it was going to make landfall at North Carolina.
Okay.
Now this...
So you had a video for me.
Yeah, this popped up. One of the local news stations posted this last week. I believe it was originally... I think it was from USA Today. But it's an interview with an old couple... Jimmy Williams from Swan Quarter, North Carolina.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to leave his home.
Oh, God.
Let's see if this...
So you're going to stay here?
Yeah, we're going to stay. We're going to ride it out.
Tell me why you decided to stay.
Well, the thing is not going to hit directly, and so I was here during Hazel.
Now, it's this stereotypical old man. I ain't leaving. It's kind of hard to understand, but the reporter says, so you're staying? Yeah, I'm staying. We stayed during Hazel, which was a storm like 40 years ago.
And it's always, sorry to interject, but with old people, it's always, well, I was there, and here you hear about, and I'm sure you've heard it, I was here for 78. It won't be as bad as that.
Like, have you thought, old man Jimmy Williams, you've aged 40 years since then. You were probably a little bit more equipped to handle things 40 years ago than you are now, but I digress. That's not the stupidest part of this whole thing.
Oh, we're not there yet.
And I guarantee that you will be just as outraged as I was when you have to keep watching it. to see what he talks about next.
You know, they said it's like hazel, so I went right through the middle of that one. So Isabel went in that house about 18 inches deep. I will take him on the porch. Yeah, I'm not going to take him in the house. No, he's not a house-trained dog, and you know what he'll do on everything.
Okay, well, someone needs to get me in touch with little Jimmy.
Yeah,
I have an issue with Jimmy.
yeah, he's that would just be silly to bring your dog in the house during a hurricane where there's record floods.
Are you
scheduled.
kidding me with this?
Yeah.
This guy leaving his...
Bring my dog in the house. Well, that would just be stupid.
I'm now Googling Jimmy Williams' dog to make sure the dog's okay.
Yeah.
I hope little Jimmy passed away.
Yeah, there was a big... if you read the comments from this, a bunch of people posting the phone number for the animal cruelty hotline or something in North Carolina. But yeah, ridiculous. So Jimmy Williams ain't a stupid man. I can stay here during this hurricane, but letting that dog in the house, let me tell you, that'd be a stupid thing to do. That dog, you never know what he'd do.
He could pee on a rug. I remember Isabel.
We had talked about this on the side gig last week. Like, why do you have a pet if you just leave him outside?
I can't. Listen, I couldn't pretend to imagine what you go through if you're at home during a hurricane. Well, one, I already think a little bit less of you if they tell you get out and you say I'm not getting out. I already have an issue. Secondly, the people who say, well, the dog's too much to handle. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hate you more than I hate most
Yeah.
people on the planet. It's Nazis, then it's you.
Yeah, Jimmy, you have the option. You can make the decision to be stupid and to be stubborn and to stay at your house when a terrible storm is coming. You have that option. Your dog doesn't. Like, the dog doesn't get to make that decision. Do you think that the dog's going to feel any better on a porch, like underneath a little bit of an awning? No. Let the dog in the house. Better yet, give the dog to somebody else.
I need an update. I've been Googling around. The couple is staying with their black lab, Bud, who isn't allowed in the house. Oh, but will be brought onto the screened front porch.
Yeah, boy. That'll make a difference when the floodwaters rise.
If I find out that black lab, Bud, passed away, little 80-year-old little Jimmy is getting a punch in the nose.
I'm sorry, man, but if this is your grandfather or this is the way that you think, you're really stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dumb enough for staying there. You're dumb enough for staying in your house when record-level floods are coming because of a massive storm.
Well,
it stayed during hazel.
You
were stupid then, too.
Yes.
Like, yeah, okay, you made it out of that one. But...
keep tempting it, though.
Yeah.
Tough old man. How many times do you think his kid got called saying, the darn computer won't work? I actually am I am hoping, if any outcome has to end in someone's demise regarding that, Bud lives, Jimmy doesn't.
Jimmy Williams and his wife.
Sorry. But Bud, still kicking around the black lab. Somebody can adopt him, actually give him a home that doesn't throw him at the whims of a hurricane.
That made me so mad.
Oh, that's upsetting.
So mad.
And the biggest political news of the week, Steve, Paul Manafort pleading guilty to some tax crimes. The bigger news seems to be that he signed some sort of a cooperation deal with Robert Mueller in regards to the Russian collusion investigation.
I'm not familiar with that. Tell me what's going on.
Paul Manafort, former former head of... I don't even know what his title was. I don't know. No. But, this sounds like a big-ish fish in terms of cooperating with Robert Mueller. Now, we've said that before, though, and you and I have turned to the most tepid of responses when this news comes, because what are we... Yeah, it was supposed to be the last one, too.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen anything in regards of...
This'll be it.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see in 2019, I guess.
Yeah.
By all accounts, it seems that this investigation will be going on into the 2019 calendar year.
Perfect.
So it's hard to get any ups or downs about any news or any update regarding this investigation. At this point, though, I'm so curious, not out of like hatred for one party or need to see a demise, but this is the biggest political story of our generation. It sounds like it's bigger than bigger than Watergate back in the 70s. And so this yearning for news, I don't think is abnormal. But, boy, this wait has been a long time.
Yeah.
Long time brewing for any news.
Will it ever wrap up?
What if Robert Mueller dies before it's complete? He's in his 70s.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to die first? Robert Mueller, Jimmy Williams, or Bud the dog?
Fingers crossed. Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy. All right. It's about time. Look at that. You're going to get home for your footy ball kickoff.
Very close, Steve.
If you want, you can check out our merch store. Just go to steveandkyle.com, click on the merch button in the top right corner. If you're doing that on mobile, though, for some reason it doesn't show up sometimes. So just go to, is it redbubble.com/people/steveandkyle?
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, a bunch of new stuff up there in the store over the last week or so. Thank you to everyone who's ordered stuff. Again, any money that we make on top of that, I think it's a couple dollars per shirt or something.
Yeah, it's not very much. We're trying to keep that low.
APS 4.0, which hopefully will start sometime in the next month, maybe? Month and a half?
Hey, I'm at your whim.
Yeah.
And my baby's whim.
Yeah. Well, I mean, way to be selfish.
Huh.
In the meantime, download, subscribe, and review the show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, SteveandKyle.com. I'm sorry, I feel
2020
something's there we go. That fixed it, didn't it?
This thing goes off a lot.
SteveandKyle.com. Download the podcast wherever you download podcasts. That's what people always say on podcasts.
It really is, yeah. I mean, at this point, you know where to find it. It's not hard to find. We put it on every. The only avenue we haven't put it on is Spotify.
Plus, you're listening to it.
Yeah.
So you've already found it.
We need to get on Spotify, though.
Yeah.
We need to figure that out. I do.
It's very easy.
I'll do that.
There's just a
We might
export.
have some musical issues, though.
Yeah, we have to be real careful. On Twitter, at Steve and Kyle, Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle. And that's about it. I guess we'll talk to you next week.